Welcome everyone to the Blueprint for Peace for Humanity. This is day one of a series of daily presentations from the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. We'll be hearing from Mr. Keshe and various members of the Universal Council, the Earth Council, the core team, and other students and members of the Keshe Foundation and other knowledge seekers from around the world, and speaking about the Blueprint for Peace for Humanity. And I think we have Mr. Keshe available to lead off today's presentation. Mr. Keshe, are you available there?
Yes, good morning, good day to you. As usual, whenever you listen to this part of the knowledge seekers teaching and in what we have tried and we're trying to do. In so many ways, what we have called for is we have left it too long to the world leaders to bring peace on this planet, where the world leaders themselves were in so many ways have to carry on the wishes of those who put them in power. But in so many ways, if we as human beings, as collectively as we are, decide to change the course by us and not interfering with the present system, which has been going on for thousands of years, is that we have two choices. The whole structure of teaching from now on, or the programs till 2nd of August to 3rd of August, is we respect you as the world leaders of the part of the planet you are. We have given you our consent to be, but now is for you to carry our wishes. Carry the wishes of the populace, carry the wishes of the people. There is no talk or action of revolution and uprising and whatever we've seen, the spring uprising in Arab world and other places. This time around, we ask you politely and we raise the level of your soul to carry our wishes, which is we had enough of war, we had enough of killing, we had enough of the money which can serve us for you to use to protect your status is enough. We want, we need, we ask, we pray, we elevate your soul that what we work for, what we put our effort, as we say in English, our sweat into, to be used for the elevation of the soul of the man, which leads to his physicality, which means man, the soul of the man knows no border. So what we are asking for is, why should we have borders? Why should we have nations that they call themselves so to protect imaginary line which we decided to be the landlord of? What we're asking for is very simple. We accept the territories, we accept the cultures, but we don't want to fight for these imaginary lines. We have fought many centuries. It's been nothing but moving from one line to another, and getting it back to another line has meant more life being sacrificed, more lives being put into mayhem, more lives becoming uncertain, which affects us for centuries. Many tribes have been moved thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, and they're still nomad because of that initial move. So what we're asking is no borders. The rulers of whatever we call the world leaders to sign themselves that we take the borders, what we call military boundaries, to protect and to fight for, and we accept the language of the nation within the structure of what we call the world society as one nation, one planet, one race. We need to bring this about, that the man stops, literally stops killing each other for nothing. As I said before, if a president, if a king, if the world leader orders the killing or a war or attack, give him the gun and put him on the front line. The olden days, a lot of wars stopped because of this. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we hear you, Mr. Keshe. It's clear.
We lost the screen. What is clear for us is, from today on, we strategize, we decide, we work in one direction to get the world leaders not to give up their power, but they give up the power to order wars, conflicts, and with it, they bring about what we call peace. We do not need anymore. We do not need any more wars. We do not need to make tools of wars. As I said before to some of the world leaders and prime ministers and ambassadors, the money you spend on protecting what you call borders, I need it to feed my child. I need it to feed what I have to be able to save my next door neighbor from hunger. The time is spent in buying arms, which is the effort of me. I trust my neighbor. I trust my neighbor across the line you put down to protect, to be able to change me. We need to ask our world leaders a simple question. We give you the gun. You be the first one. You will start the war. The gun is your food. The gun is your heating. Does it heat you? Does it feed you? What's the need for it? What we push and we try to bring about is to bring all the humanity into one direction from today. Peace, understanding that there is no arms. We do not need arms. As I said this morning to someone, we do not need arms to kill, we need arms to feed. When a president signs itself to peace, it will have only one arm, and that is the arm to feed. Because there is no more war. We have to stop. It has to stop this process which world leaders have found a way, in different way and tricks, to keep themselves in power. A king, a president has to be in power out of the love of his nation, not by the gun of his nation. I wrote to one of our listeners this morning, asked the Prime Minister to sign for peace. I got my message back just before we start. I'm sitting next to the Prime Minister on 30th of July. I will talk. But it's a short time between 30th of July and 2nd of August. We need action today. I have started a process to ask Mr. Netanyahu to allow the world presidents to enter Israel. This is what we need to do. The members of the Earth Council, you have requested for a talk. We'll do today or tomorrow. Your job is very simple. Put a call, write to the Universal House of Justice. We need to rent a premises for bringing the world leaders to meet each other. Would you lend us? Would you rent us, the human race, the building which we paid for, to be the place where the world leaders come to sign for peace? I'm sure the Universal House of Justice will shake to the bone, because they thought it's their job, and the time when it comes, they'll decide. But you have to understand one thing. All the religions have lost their strength and they have lost their way. It's for you to show them the way. It's the job of the Universal Council to start developing very rapidly by Monday, Tuesday, a letter, and ask the support team, ask the rest of those who are here to go to the embassies, to give a letter. We would like your president to attend in Haifa on the 2nd of or the 3rd of August 2017 to sign your nation to peace. And go back for an answer. Call back every 2 or 3 days till you get an answer if the message has been sent. Call your president, send an email. We need an answer. Organize a pattern of work which is not intimidating, but is a working way to ask our leaders, world leaders, to attend and sign ourselves to peace. This is not a revolution. This is the evolution of the man that realizes all the wars and the killing has not brought man anything but misery and suffering, and in a way degradation and going backwards. Can you imagine a world where we don't spend any more money on arms? And this money will be spent on space technology. The money will be spent on building roads. The money which will spend on the hospitals. It's the same taxes. It's the same money. It's the same thing. But I pay for you to be in charge of, to do what? To kill more in the name of why I didn't pay you to kill? This is the reason we set up one continent, one nation, one race, one planet. This is the time. This is what we have to do. I am, as part of what I do, inviting the Iranian president to go to Israel. You got to understand how hard that move will be. It's not that he will go, but getting invited will raise the thoughts. It is possible. If people think can be done, we can do it. If we understand that is our wish and our wish is our command, if one person wishes sincerely to achieve it, they'll achieve it. In the core team, years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, we did this. Each one of us became responsible for soul of one president. Each one of us became responsible for physicality of one prophet. This time, group of us has to accept which president, where and what time and how and who and the way we can do it. Nowadays, they are very clever. They have blockages, internet, president will see, president will be. We need social mass media. We need to be in a position that we can reach. We have to find the weakest point in the whole structure of presidential, prime ministerial, and kingship. And the weakest strength in the whole lot is the islands. Islands have no enemy. They are not connected to no one. They do not need army. So the nation is at peace. There is no need for another nation to attack because they are in the middle of the water. The Prime Minister of New Zealand is the best. It comes the Prime Minister of Australia. They have no enemies. They should be easy to ask to sign for world peace. They always had a peace mission, soldiers in different countries. Now they don't even need that anymore if they sign their nation into peace. Madagascar is another option. Number of prime ministers and leaders of islands around the world. 2 islands at the moment will be out of reach because they are the instigators of most of the wars. Japan and United Kingdom. We have a nation which is covered with blood, and we always call it a peaceful nation. Maybe it's time to change the course for them. Ask the President of Switzerland to be the first signatory. President of Ghana has already signed his nation to peace. We have the ruler of Qatar with the present situation. Is another condition for us to our advantage. We have to go for the islands and countries which they call. The snowball effect will bring the rest in. United States will be the last nation will sign itself to peace because it counts on millions of jobs, on killing machine they have created to guarantee work. The selection of number of nations is very limited, but can be effective. The ruler of Bahrain, Arab speaking. Let's concentrate on a handful, and then as we get results, we go further. A prime person for these kind of things is all of us, and not my friend or somebody else will do it. We got all to do it. Set up a system that you can reach. Come up with a simple thing, single way that we ask our world leaders to give us peace. We want peace. And there are 2 carrots and a stick with it. The carrot is the technology which creates more jobs. The stick is we have the technology to literally paralyze our technology because of the aggression of the people like American government to protect itself. There is one person who will resist to sign the World Peace Treaty, and the president and the head of the smallest nation with the most cash in the pocket, with the instigator of more wars than anybody else. Invite the Pope. Vatican is a nation. The richest receives vast amount of money, and now that the Christianity has come to an end, that money which has been invested with them over centuries has to come back to the people for peace application. As we said, the term of Pope has finished. He had said himself in one of his talks, I will be the last Pope. Let him act his word. We know in the Islamic world, Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran will write the Islam out of religion. Because he knows as a head of the state has brought nothing but misery for the Iranian nation. Isolation, wars, and conflict within the nation. We ask those who are instrumental and are in touch with the Iranian government religious section, try to enlighten them. Pray for all these world leaders, and they walk. Today, we need to set up a plan, a direction, a way that we don't become a pressure group, we become the leader group. We lead with the knowledge that we can appoint world leaders ourselves. This is the truth which you slowly come to understand where we are heading for. We appoint the souls which can help us to achieve peace, and by the way of living, we eliminate the war. There are two ways to do it. We do it the old way, which failed, or we do it the new way. The new way is for man to understand the last points in the structure of his knowledge, which is the soul of the man. There are no known anti-soul weapon to anyone on this planet, where you can solve, when you can block any work of the soul on any person, anywhere on this planet. What does this mean? If we collectively decide to raise the soul of one of our world leaders, the soul will move. 14 days. That's all you need. I've said this many times in my teaching. Even 14 days is too much. My wish is peace, and my wish is very simple. I give the Prime Minister of Australia 14 days. Who is there to support? We need to inform, and we need to be informed of how we can do it. Australia is one of the major countries that is a peaceful nation. Has no need for creating war, and has no need to be part of a war machine. So peace is part of a structure, and at the same time, what it will save in naval defense, in whatever else, internally, will be benefit to his nation. The money, the whole, even if you think the amount of fuel spent by military, it can give all of us at least 50% reduction in our fuel on a daily life. Military uses huge amount of fuel. Why should that fuel, which we pay for, to be used to float some tubs on the water and call it military airships or whatever, where my next door neighbor is dying of a simple disease and he has not got money to pay for it? The whole logic of life is upside down, and we have come to accept it and no more. FDA has been created to control our medicine. The standard boards have been put out to destroy our standard. We accept they are needed to make sure everything is correct, but not everything has to be to the benefit of those who control the financial or money in the bank. The problem is we have allowed it, and the problem is we are the solution. The solution is very simple. We ask our leaders, we need peace. Today was our last day of this section. Is that I'll teach you where your soul is. I teach you where your soul can operate. I teach you how you can extend the soul, that you walk the presidents to signing without them knowing, and you walk the head of militaries to put their arms down and walk away from their desk. The time will come very soon. We will melt the guns. The time has come for us to disarm the armies which are killing in the name of arms to feed. Soldiers in Africa with the arm they carry have to enforce and take bribes because the wages are not enough. But in fact, if the money which was given to the soldiers as wages were given to them as a normal way, and the money which is spent on the arms which they carry, which became the tools of farming or the tools of feeding, will give them a better life than the arm they carry. We have built many borders. We have built many wars. We have built the walls for years, and then we brought them down and we called them the end of the break between East and the West. No division of borders has worked for any of us, not till today. Chinese built a wall, and now is a monument place to see the stupidity of the man, that by development and expansion of the science, the walls have become nothing but a museum piece. Actually, is an embarrassment to the intelligence of the man. Now we hear they want to build another wall, but where is the money coming from? For the sweat and the cries of the children who will not have food to eat, for a company to earn some money out of some concrete and metal walls to satisfy who and what. Our main target has to be peace without borders. And that brings one thing down. Is there a need for a state of Israel? The other question to ask, is there a need for a state of Palestine? Is there a need for Egypt? Or is there a need for Jordan and the rest? They all lived together for centuries. There was no borders. How come suddenly borders has come? Borders are the tools to arms and killing. The world leaders are part of the problem. The world leaders are, in a way, the problem, the totality of the problem. We are the solution for the problem. We have to find, we got to decide, we have to see, we have to learn in what are we doing with ourselves. The man has learned one thing from the past. Borders, armies have never survived and lasted. Do we need world leaders? Do we need arms? And do we need world leaders who encourage the use of arms? It's very simple. Let decide, let work, let bring the others, and there are structures sitting within the structure of the humanity which have worked and done a lot to create peace, but they never had the tools to do. We can use them. They can use our technology. As I said, we'll start showing the power of our technology. I release a power in the coming couple of weeks and the weeks to come that, as I said, there is no antidote for it, and man has not managed to develop anything to block it. In a way, till very recently, man did not knew of the place of his existence. It's very easy for us. It's very, very comfortable for us. And that is, you come up with a solution to follow the tradition, the way you always brought people in. I teach how to bring the presidents in so many ways By the time they get to the top of the mountain Carmel to sign the peace, act of peace, they'll be ashamed to be called the presidents. Some will walk back down and throw away their position. Because the reason you see such a long steps going up to Mount Carmel is not to get to the top. Is to think in getting to the top, what am I going to do with what my nation has done to my people? Many world leaders will never get to the top because being ashamed of what is done in their name, they sign a peace treaty halfway and walk back. They never take the position. Those who've been close to me, they know I speak about the power of the table. I've spoken about when the boss sits at a distance or a minister sits at a distance far away from the door. As the people walk towards and come in, by the time they get to the top, they lose their power because he's sitting there watching carefully. And then they even forget what they came in for. This is the reason the building of Haifa has been built this way. It's not to reach to the top. It's to contemplate getting to the top what has caused humanity to sign man for peace. We did not say that all the world leaders all come together. We asked them, we give them 2 days, 3 days, that as they walk to the top, they contemplate in what they have done to themselves and to their people and to the others. This is the secret. And all we can do as a member of the public, as a member of the nations, to stand on every step and give one leaflet more, the reason for peace. Can you feed my child? Can you make sure I am warm? I don't need arms to kill. I need arms to feed. I need arms from my nation to create me jobs that guarantees I have food, I have shelter, and I have health care in a very easy and effective way. The stupidity of the race for funding and gaining money has become more stupid as we've seen the grasp on the healthcare in the United States. People are asking for more wages to pay more healthcare, for the more medicine, which is exactly the same powder it was before, for more people to suffer and less to have to go where? Many people, many people are paying with their lives in the hand of careless leaders which benefit their own pockets and those who only work in that way. When you decide, and when by Monday, Tuesday, we come up with a protocol of peace, we have to understand the totality of what peace means. Very simple. Having peace means having no arms. Having no arms means having no borders. Having no borders, it means we trust each other. The only nations which oppose this move are the nations who have been abusers. Is your nation abusing nation? Is the culture of your nation abusive? And if it's not, why should you have any shame to sign yourself to peace? This is my talk. This is what we try to achieve. This is what we'll push to achieve. As I said this morning, the leaflet which will come out, it will say, we do not need arm to kill. We need arm to feed. We need the arm of our president to sign the world peace. This is the ground which will start this process. if the king or the president does not sign, collectively, as member of one nation, we select one person, for that person to be the person who signs our nation to peace. This time, there is no alternative. By round about the last week of July, if we don't get the heads of the nations not to sign, those of you who have signed the World Peace Treaty, we accept one person from each nation to sign the nation as the new head to peace. Alternative government, government of peace. The affairs, the armies, the banking can stay with those who call themselves the world leaders. The new leaders will carry the soul of the man, and in time, no man will carry the arm. This time we don't fight. We disarm from inside, which is the soul of the man. This is the revolution of the souls, not the revolution of the guns and shouting and on the street. We don't incite war, we incite peace, and we have the new weapon, which is they have nothing for to stand it. It's the work and the job of the all teams, all the core members, this what we call the support team of the Universal Council, the councils, both of them, the Earth Council and the Universal Council, to strategize how and who and what, and foresee and start planning to choose the world leaders who are the leaders of the peace. Alternative condition for human race, alternative way that we pay people to stay peaceful. From now on, we don't pay soldiers to carry arms. We pay people who find new ways to create more peaceful environment for work, more peaceful works that is just and correct and not a slavery, and from then on we carry on. In Ghana, the Keshe Foundation has broken that habit. In Ghana, the Keshe Foundation has worked the same way, and that is, we pay our staff a wage that they are proud to work. We pay our staff in a way that as the knowledge gathers, we can give more to them to enjoy more life, that they can create more jobs. I was talking to one of the graduates just a few days ago.
Get a sound check, please.
Yeah, Mr. Keshe. He may have dropped out. Hello, Mr. Keshe, you there now?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sorry, we lost on one line. We're coming back on the other line.
No problem.
I saw the two guys giggling, and the topic was that they're getting paid more than the director of Atomic. I said, okay, why are you laughing? He said, I told him, before you used to come with a car once a month to work. Now you come to car every day to work. The money is good. You're happy. And this should be the same as we do. This is how we have to work. What I ask you is very simple. Structure a way that we can force the world leaders to walk the path of peace. Not out of weakness, not out of riots, not out of threats, not out of ammunition, but knowing that we have a tool within us which we were not aware of, now we use it. We cannot damage, you cannot take a soul of a man, but you can elevate soul of the man that he does not even want to be a president. Or he walks the wishes of the totality. I have one praise and one way to do it. And that is, I teach you from Monday how to elevate your souls. To become the soul of your president. To become part of the soul of your president. And then there is no need for president, as you sign the whole thing and you transfer the emotion and the feel to the others. I gave you a hint for this in my talk yesterday, and nobody most probably understood, and in the last Thursday that nobody understood. I explained that the soul of the man has come from the field of the rays of the sun, and it comes from the rays of the galaxies and the universe. And in a way, I explained that it's the seed becomes the seed of the soul of another planet, another structure which leads to life. But there is one thing you missed to understand. And that is, if your soul becomes the seed of the soul of another galaxy or a star, then you understand the soul of president to change is not a hard job. You are the owners, you become the soul of the man, the nursery of this. And now who's better to kill and call himself full understanding and the strategy of two fronts. One, the soul of the presidents and the world leaders, and the second is the physicality of the man on this planet, that we create comfort. We can't become a pressure group just to push and shuffle because we want to do. We have to become an organization which the governments know by the end of July we appoint our own leaders. Alternative leaders that through the strength we find in our souls, understanding that our soul in the coming time become itself the center of the solar system that it leads to life of other souls, then we understand we can change the rules of this nation very rapidly. When you sit in the background and you think of one thing to think first. Can my soul be the head of my nation? That it only serves the men of my nation, and through the word I speak, I consult with the Universal Council. That am I strong enough to be a world leader, to serve on the ground of peace? Sits amongst you the future world leaders, when our world leaders, what we call the present leaders, fail to deliver peace. We set an alternative government to all the world governments, and that is no arms. We serve humanity, we raise the soul of the man, and the soul of this planet. Setting up an alternative government without guns, without aggression, without fight is one thing which the other world leaders and the pressure groups cannot stand. But the problem is that we create an enemy within. And the enemy within is when we raise their own soul, which does not go with their action. When you fight someone, you are an enemy. But when you fight inside yourself, you cannot blame no one for it except yourself. When you're sitting and thinking, when you're working, strategize how, as the soul of a nation, you run your nation. And don't forget, your wish is your command. We need, at the same time, as we ask for heads of nations to sign their nation to peace, we have the heads of nations for what we call our nation. Nation of peace, nation of one nation. And then we find out those who become the heads of nations become part of representing their area in the Council of the Earth Council and in the Council of the Universal Council. We opened the door to alternative because we had enough of murders, killing, bribery, and everything else possible. We are not giving a speech. We are setting up the new course for humanity. Alternative governments right across every nation on this planet. Government of peace, prosperity. At the same time, we slowly, within the coming weeks, will announce, and you will understand very quickly, we are setting up, backing up the alternative option. I'll explain in time very rapidly. We'll set up internet banking where you can receive funds to live a normal life. You know there is somebody hungry that you can feed. Do not take 100 from the bank that you spend 50 of it for them. Spend the 50 on them and take 50 from the bank. From now on you become the judge of yourself. We set up international banking in a very correct way that we don't charge, we make it accessible. We will start with a few numbers and we increase this one to nations. You pay taxes. You don't need to pay taxes when the taxes are paid on what you have received as a gift. Hospitals need to operate, we pay for, not the way it's done today. We pay for the new knowledge that it doesn't need the back-breaking prices we see. Every American will receive a total free healthcare. But the healthcare which we teach them to look after themselves, and the doctors and those scientists in the foundation who can teach naturally. Different channels we open that we can teach each other in every aspect. We have no priest, we'll have no teachers, and we'll have nobody to be that he can claim, I am this, I am that. We all serve as equal and we teach as equal. In next week I start, anybody you know from any path of belief to attend the next week's teaching. I will not be here all the time, but when I come, I teach you how to elevate your soul and how through your soul feed yourself and your neighbors, where the governments don't need anymore. Some of you will learn very fast, and some of you will fail to do because it means you have never understood or you came with the wrong ethos. Let us start. I'll leave the platform. I'll walk away. You have whole day today, and if you want to meet tomorrow, ask the panelists to open the channels that the KF SSI carry on Sunday. But by Monday, Tuesday, come up with a structure. My thinking is very simple. We give the world leaders limited time, something like the 15th of July. After 15th of July, the way we chose the members of Universal Council, we chose what we choose. We allow you to choose, come forward, to be the head of your own nation through the soul of the man. And if your nation does not, your head of nation does not by the 2nd of July, or at least by 1st of August, sorry, come
Hello? Oh, Mr. Keshe. I think we may have lost him there temporarily.
hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Keshe.
We are back again. So sorry about this. What we're trying to explain is that we appoint our own leaders, and the new leaders of the soul who choose themselves will sign their nation to peace. And with it, we set up a structure that we can feed our people the way we see fit. Nations who come in and sign themselves into peace, they stay peaceful. Nations who come and sign themselves as the new leaders, we structure our way around as one nation. What we have, what we do, and the way we do it. And the way we bring balance between all. That, in a short time, we'll see the changes. We will teach aggressively the new Hi, we are back. We are back on another channel. What is important is, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
So what is important is we are allowing the present governments to follow our way. And if not, we set up a procedure that they follow us. It's better to change the structure. And if your worries are what we're going to do with the people, with the sick, with the others, with the armies, in so many ways, I teach you a way, I teach you the ways that the armies, the soldiers will not carry guns. And it's so easy. But we had to show that you can understand the invisible fields, that you trust is not a magic, you are the creator, you are the controller. And in the past, especially 2-3 weeks, I brought the subjects of the soul of the man, And if you understood that your soul is become the creator of another solar system, so you have control over the subjects of that solar system, that you spread love and care, that no planet like Earth can ever be created, now you understand why we are here. And I'm here to change one thing, and I'm here to very simply change the ethos of the man, which is ingrained in it, killing, murder, robbery, and everything else to deprive another pack of energy from his existence. With this, we cannot go to space, and it's our job to correct it. I'll leave. You come up with the ways, because I can tell you a lot of things. Work on the strength of unity, not on the instrument of fear. Work on the strength that you understand you carry a new power, and that power is the power of the creation. You shall create a star, you become the center of another life. You have that much in you, you can make the change in the present time. As I said, it's about 199 of them, or 200 leaders, is 7 billion of us. We allow them to become, and this is what we demand from them. Peace. No more wars. Change of the condition to new technology that does not need to create war. And one thing more. Plenty for more to have more. I end up with one thing, and then you understand what it means. Many of us saw the biggest mistake made in the United States and many other governments in past few years. When the thieves went bankrupt, the government robbed from the nation to pay the thieves more to rob more. When the banking system collapsed, the head of the governments, the leaders of the nations, robbed the nation to give to the robbers. Where we said from the beginning, you're paying this money to the banks to survive, paid on behalf of the people who are homeless, who become homeless because they can't pay the loans, that in that process, the homeless who the loans are paid now, they have the money to generate new jobs. There is the economy which comes in, and the whole thing has collapsed, and we've seen many people in many nations are homeless because of the greed of the leaders. The mistakes made this time cannot be repeated. The money paid for arms, conflicts, missiles, rockets, needs to be spent on feeding, on looking after the nation, and then the world leaders understand the more they spend on the nation, the more nation gives them their love, their soul, and the more prosperous the nation becomes. They have to understand and feel the difference. And they will see one thing very real. There is a time for a change. We have the tools, we have the means, and we have the soul to enforce it. Thank you very much. You planet, I serve my soul to see it happening. If there is any member of the Earth Council who wants to speak, any members of the Universal Council who wants to speak, any members of the core team who wants to speak to set the path, please come in, because I try to keep quiet and try to be out of the way, that the decision is by humanity for human race. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. I see there's an attendee with their hand up. I think they've been promoted. Not sure who that was. Was it Paul? Would you like to speak? Who was it that was wanted to be promoted there? And if there's any of the attendees that would like to speak, you can put your hand up and I'll promote you to a panelist and you'll have an opportunity to talk.
Hi everybody, it's Lisa from Australia here, from the EC. Can you hear me, Rick?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'd just like to say on behalf of the Earth Council that we're ready for this. This is what the planet needs, and it's what I think is the only way forward. We're in a lot of trouble on the planet, and I think that we know that we have the strength in our souls to change the course. And if we all just can work together to achieve it, we will. And I know that on certain practical levels, there are things we can do, but just as there are practical things that we can do, such as calling on our leaders, writing letters, that just as much as those things, there are the other tools that we can use in terms of creating the wish from as many as we can. And that not only includes humanity, but the rest of the planet too, including all the creations on this planet and the planet itself, because I think we can bring the souls of all of them to bear on this, because I think they, being a lot more elevated than us at times, would be very happy to see peace on the planet, and I'm sure we could call on the souls of all the creations on the planet to help us to achieve this too. So the EC stands ready to do whatever it can. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And looks like Gatua has his hand up and would like to say something.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Keshe. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you, Mr. Keshe, for bringing this to all of us, and we are very grateful and ready to move on with these new strategies for peace. And I think I speak this on my behalf, my own behalf, and on behalf of the Universal Council. And I would like to call for a meeting between all the councils, Universal Council, Earth Council, and the core team to come up with a strategy that is consistent, so that when we start approaching our leaders, we do it in a way that is consistent with all of us. Like what I do in Kenya, for example, somebody else is doing somewhere else, or we decide a strategy. That may not be necessarily the way to go, but I would like to call a meeting today, if possible, or tonight, and then we come up with a strategy. Last time we worked all of those teams together. We came up with the letters for Muslim and Islamic countries peace, and it worked very well, in my opinion. And we already have experience, so we can start right away and make this work easier for all of us. Thank you very much once again. Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe, for bringing this to the world. Some of us have always wondered how we could achieve peace, but now we can see the light very close to the, not even at the end of the tunnel, but at the opening of the tunnel. Thank you very much indeed.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Keshe. Good morning, everyone. This is Paul from Togo. I am member of Universal Council. I want to say thank you, Mr. Keshe, for standing for the independence for every soul in this planet Earth. I can say it is the last step in evolution of man. Independence for everyone in this planet Earth. We have the power. We have the power. Our soul is our power. Our soul is everything. We have this tool, but we never learn how to use this. And you are bringing us at this point where we are going to use fully our power to get our own independence. Thank you, Mr. Keshe, for this. And the peace is what man have every time looking for. One we see in the conflict situation, population moving from the conflict zone to the zone of peace. It meaning that man in the planet Earth are only looking for peace for his achievements. Thank you, Mr. Keshe. And we have to put our effort together to reach this gold object for humanity. Thank you.
We have Jamila with the microphone open. Would you like to say something?
Yes.
Can I ask something very direct, please? When we speak about the peace, and I see different members of the Universal Council and the Earth Council come on board, when you express your feeling in the English language, most of your nation don't understand. Do it both ways, that the understanding goes across the nations and not just the speaking English group. Thank you very much.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Keshe. Good morning, everyone. This is Jamila from UC, Universal Council for Arabic Nation. So, Mr. Keshe, thank you for all this description, for what you are saying about what is happening in our planet, in our nations. So this is true, and we, all of us, when we see that, we feel very sad, and we feel, so far, we feel that we are without power to change that or to interrupt that. So now this is, it's time for the change, and since few months or since we are in this organization, we matured, we progress, and we have tools now, and we are working together, and this is what we stand for our nations, all of us in the Universal Council. So we are ready, and we are following, and this is what we want: peace. We want salam, Orid salam. We want peace, and this is what we want to do, and this is what we will do. We are ready. Thank you so much.
Could you share your thoughts in Arabic? As we all become one nation, we respect each other's language and territory as one. Can you hear me? Hello, Rick.
Yeah, I can hear you, Mr. Keshe. I'm not hearing Jamila. Jamila, your microphone is muted right now. Perhaps you're talking, but your microphone is muted. Oh, she went off, I think. Okay, well, we'll have to wait until she comes back.
I can share mine. Hello.
Sure, I mean, that sounds good.
Rick, I could do it in my language, the one that I represent.
Sure, I think that would be a good idea.
Which is Gikuyu. Muriega inuo the ndamugeithia o haria hothe muri thiini wa thi yothe. Ni ngucokeria ngatho mwalimu witu Mr. Mehran Tavakoli Keshe ni undu wa gututhomithia na makiria muno gututhomithia uhoro wa kuhuthira muoyo witu kunyitithania andu othe a thi yothe handu ya ruma. Ni ngwitie mucemanio umuthi wa kwa team na wa Universal Council na wa Earth Council, maundu macio mothe aria marugamirire thi, aria marugamirire thiomi ciothe cia thi na aria marugamirire mabũrũri mothe tucamanie twandike marũa kana tubange uria wothe tungika niguo turehe thayu thiini wa thi na ndorio guo na mutugo wa Gĩgĩkũyũ ngiugaga thai thathaia Ngai thai. Thank you very much indeed. Nĩ wega mũno. That's all I had. Thank you very much. I have just repeated what I had said in English, calling for the meeting of the councils and thanking Mr. Keshe for what he has taught us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gachua.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else who would like to go ahead at this time and have something to say?
Good morning, everybody. It's Caroline. I am representative of the Netherlands taal, so I will express myself in Nederlands. Ik wens dat deze planeet de vrijheid kan bekomen, maar een vrijheid in vrede. Dat iedereen naast elkaar en met elkaar kan leven als vrienden, als één grote familie. Dat we geen onderscheid niet meer maken tussen wat kleur of haar, huid, smaak, cultuur of gewoonten. Dat dit geen divisie meer brengt onder de mensen. Dat we allemaal met elkaar op een rustige manier kunnen communiceren. Dat we allemaal op een rustige manier in vriendschap kunnen delen. Dat we uiteindelijk onze deuren, onze keuken, onze cultuur, onze gewoonten, onze smaken met elkaar kunnen vermengen als één grote familie. Ik denk dat het meer dan tijd aan het worden is om mensen naast elkaar te kunnen verenigen, zoals op zoveel plaatsen reeds gebeurt. En dat de mensen daar niet bij stilstaan, dat ze al en reeds in vrede met elkaar leven. Als ze naar grote concerten gaan, dan zitten ze met alle kleuren van de regenboog naast elkaar. Ze delen mekaars goederen, drinken, tenten, slaapgerief, regenjassen. Waarom kan dit niet in het gewone dagelijkse leven gebeuren? Waarom moeten er zoveel regels zijn die elkaar scheiden? Waarom leren we onze kinderen niet van de dag dat ze geboren zijn om met geen uiterlijke kentekenen de onderscheid te maken tussen een meisje en een jongen, tussen de kleuren van de verschillende mensen, tussen de talen van de verschillende mensen? Wij als ouders zouden de deuren moeten openmaken voor onze kinderen. Het zijn onze kinderen die onze toekomst zijn. Als wij het plateau niet verhogen, dat wij met elkaar gezellig kunnen samenzitten, zoals wij al reeds doen in openbare grote aangelegenheden, waarom kunnen we dat niet in school en op het werk en op de baan, in de politiek, in de regeringen? Waarom kunnen wij dat daar niet bereiken? Ik denk dat het mogelijk is als de mensen allemaal stilstaan en de hand boven het hoofd houden en zien, kan ik die eerste stap maken om deze verandering teweeg te brengen. Ik leer mijn kinderen altijd van talen te leren, van ander eten te leren proeven, andere smaken te leren. Soms zeggen ze, ja mama, dat smaakt niet. Maar ik zeg, als je het niet probeert, dan weet je het niet. Als je niet de stap zet om die deuren open te maken. Hoe kan je kind dit ervaren als het al voorgehouden wordt dat er iets verkeerd is voordat ze de stap zetten? Ik denk dat wij als ouders de eerste stap voor onze kinderen moeten maken en ze de deur tonen dat die kan wagenwijd opengezet worden. Dat wij met elkaar kunnen communiceren, dat wij gezellig met elkaar kunnen zitten. Want deze zomer, als iedereen naar buiten komt op vakantie, wij maken geen onderscheid waar onze kampeertent geplaatst wordt. Dat onze buren van Duitsland zijn of van Australië zijn of van Amerika zijn. Wij zitten allemaal gezellig samen op een kleine plaats, de zon te delen, het water te delen, de keuken die ter beschikking staat op de camping of in het hotel. Hoe komt het dat de mensen zo vrijelijk kunnen op vakantie gaan? En dat ze zich geen onderscheid maken wie naast zich in de kamer slaapt. Of naast de tafel. Of op het strand. Want ze willen allemaal dat zonnige plekje delen. Dat kan ook in het dagelijkse leven. Waarom nemen wij deze avonturen niet mee naar huis en tonen aan onze kinderen het pad dat zij werkelijk kunnen delen? Why is it so difficult for people to come to understand that we are already sharing our lives so freely with each other? If you go to big concerts, especially the youngsters, there are thousands of people together sitting, tense, joining the music, laughing, dancing. They don't make no difference who's sitting next to them. If they're coming from whatever country, they share the food, the tents. If it rains, they even go and give each other shelter. If we are now in the holiday time and we go camping, you don't ask who is your neighbor. You can have an American next to you, you can have a Frenchman sitting next to you, you can have a German sitting next to you, it doesn't matter. You come and share openly in public. So, where you come from disappears because you all take place on the beach, you all share the same water, the same sunshine, the same table that is getting served. Why don't we take these memories back home and make sure that the memory from the camping where the children shared their time to play with other children from other languages, but to carry it out further at home? We need to create the platform for our children and open the door because they are our future. To learn them, to explain them how different foods can taste, to pick up a different language so that they can start communicating, at least to make the effort. We can increase that platform that we can live in peace and take it up to a higher level. Why is it so normal everywhere, but when it comes down to a higher level, like say in politics or governments, that suddenly it is not possible anymore to be living and sharing in friendship with each other. So we can take the stones down of the divisions and the differences if we give each other the room and the time and the patience and the love and the care to do so. But we will have to make the first step. I wish every soul to start making the journey of peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. Okay, who else would like to participate? Again, I remind the 75 attendees, if anybody would like to speak, they can put up their hand and I can promote you to a panelist. Okay, we have Mark Herb has raised his hand. I'll promote you to a panelist, Mark. There you go. Go ahead.
It's very clear that we can have a new kind of jobs all over the world that focus on new kinds of technology that give us food and shelter and water and love and peace and fun. This is where it's going.
This is Rick Crammond here, and I've talked with several people in the last couple of days or so that I was trying to get some sort of confirmation that what I was feeling was being felt by other people, and that is there seemed to be some sort of like a transition or it felt like a parting of the veils is the term. It felt like passing through into like a different world a couple of days ago. That it felt like we'd gone past that difficult point, and it was more clear sailing, let's say, at this juncture, and that seemed to be reflected in several different ways in my life, and with talking with other people, they seem to have, you know, some major turning points as well in the last day or two, and we see other things happening, like one of the top priests for the Pope has been well, basically accused of sexual assault, and he's the top financial advisor to the Pope, top financial czar, they say. This is really big. This is just came up in the news, and things like that that are just indicators that the established patterns are breaking up, and it's an excellent opportunity in that flux, in that uncertain times, for beings like us to get in there and try to help and get our intention set, get our put our attention on the situation and use our intention to begin a new creation cycle, you might say. So I think that it's an excellent opportunity. I think it's the timing cannot be better. they say, may you live in interesting times. Well, we certainly do live in interesting times right now. We have someone, Alfred, would you like to speak? I saw you had your hand up and you're now a panelist. Go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, welcome and thank you for everything, Mr. Keshe and all the members. I speak from Austria and I'm now in a landscape and my heart is really pumping because I want to come in and the computer doesn't work, and so I ask for a miracle and it's really happened. And the peace is really in everyone, deep, deep inside. And the light and the love are really radiate. And so you can feel the peace. You can really handle the peace because to see no one guilty, you see the innocence in everyone and in every living thing. And we are really one. We all already one in a level that we can really look to our soul. And in this moment, the soul is clear, shining, radiating, and start living in the light of the creation, in the inner peace. And so it is a decision for your inner peace, that the inner peace spread over everything. And I say thank you and send everyone sunflowers. It's growing everyone, and in the soul, in the nature, in the business, in everything. Thank you. Love you. Thank you.
Good one.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Everyone. Love you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Flint suggests, could you say that in your native language?
Yes.
Thank you.
In allen und jeden ist der Frieden bereits vorhanden. Er ist tief, tief, tief in dir. Nur alle deine Gedanken, die nicht aus der Quelle der Liebe kommen, bedecken dieses Licht des Friedens, diese Ausdehnung des Friedens. Und in diesem Moment, wenn du dich entscheidest, dich der Liebe hinzuwenden, und der Ausdruck der Liebe ist, dass du keinen Kampf mehr führst zwischen deinen Gedanken, zwischen dein Recht haben wollen, dass du einfach diesen Punkt einfach in dir erreichst, wo du weißt, dass die wirkliche Vergebung so stattfindet, dass dir niemand etwas antut. Du tust dir alles selber an. Und du bist der Sender und du bist der Empfänger. Alles, was du aussendest, das empfängst einfach du. Und in dieser Klarheit des Erkennens, ich bin für alles verantwortlich, was ich sehe. Ich bin für alles verantwortlich, was ich fühle. Ich bin für alles verantwortlich. Nicht in einem Sinne, dass du die Verantwortung trägst, sondern im Erkennen, dass du es bist, der einfach die Möglichkeit des Ausdehnung des Friedens in dir trägst. Und ein untrainierter Geist kann nichts erreichen, denn er kann nicht die wirkliche Wahrnehmung benutzen, die alles und jedes einfach sündenlos sieht, die einfach dieses Unschuldige, diese Unschuld in allen und jeden einfach sehen kann. Und es ist die Zeit, dass wir richtig beginnen zu sehen, dass es keine Feinde gibt und dass es nichts gibt, was uns verletzen kann, außer unseren eigenen Gedanken. Und so ist es so wichtig, dass wir unsere Gedanken einfach für einen Augenblick zurücknehmen, damit nichts und niemand wirklich verletzt werden kann, sondern dass es ein Denksystem gibt, das ein Ego-Denksystem hat mit Schuld und dass es ein Denksystem gibt, das einfach diese Liebe, dieses Licht, diesen geheilten Geist und die geeinten Gedanken als Mittelpunkt, diese Einheit des Gedankens, ein One Nation, also wirklich One World, aber auch ein Gedanke und dass dieser Gedanke sich im Frieden wiederfindet und dass der Frieden keine Hindernisse mehr vorfindet, um in die Welt hinauszustrahlen und jeden zu erreichen. Danke. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, thank you. Danke, danke. Alles Liebe aus Österreich.
Thank you, Ephraim. You're so beautiful. And this is Lucy. My Chinese name, my Chinese name is Ling. Thank you, Mr. Keshe, for today's enlightenment. I don't know, maybe how many times I just beg that to recover my power, to reach my soul, to get rid of out of this veil. And there's so much struggling, but when all this was settled down, when I can really reach the inner peace, and I can see the beauty of my soul and how powerful it is. So I just wish I can reach the purest soul of myself and get back all my capability so that I can use all my energy to service this humanity in this world and all the beings, and so that I can shine like a central sun of the galaxy. Thank you, thank you. 我是林，英文名是 Lucy。我无数次的在祈求，让我能够醒来，恢复我往日的荣光和我的能力。在经过了如此多的内在的挣扎，在真正的找到了自己内在的和平之后，我终于可以跳出这样的一个帷幕的矩阵，触及到我自己的灵魂，看到它的美丽，明白它的力量的强大。我的愿望就是让我的灵魂成为最最最最纯净的那个灵魂，让我拥有无比的力量，让我用我所有的能量来服务于这个星球上的所有的人类和所有的生命，让我闪耀，让我就像银河系的中央大日那样闪耀，闪耀着我的灵魂之光。感谢大家。Thank you. I love you all. 我爱你们。
You.
Just occurred to me that how lovely every language is when people are speaking about peace. It's a different languages sound different if you're talking about business or some other, some nano coding process or something like that. But somehow, when we speak of peace, all the languages sound very similar, some way. Okay, who else would like to go ahead here?
There's a Julian. They had their hand up, and Julian
Yeah.
was promoted there.
Julian,
Yes,
go ahead.
yes. Hello. Okay, thank you. Hello, everybody. It's nice to be here and be a part of this. So beautiful to listen to all the different languaging. As you say, when you talk about peace, it's like their voice and the tone of their voice is like spreading so good energy into the environment. So it's we're really here in this wonderful time of the everlasting now. Just right in before the big change on Earth. It's a beautiful time to be alive on Earth. It's it's a great blessing to be here, to be a part of this wonderful change. And there's so many people on so many levels that are working to promote peace and promote unity all over. And I'm meeting more and more of these people everywhere, and it's just spreading. People are coming with peace inside themselves, and they're spreading that peace and joy around them. So it's so beautiful to see, and then now that the technology and spirituality is joining hands and walking forward into the new era, it's going to be such an amazing joy to be alive on Earth. It's I also want to say that a lot of people are working on this Nasara founding, and that there is about to be a big change in the banking structures and how the currency and everything is working on Earth. This will also be have a huge impact on the world peace. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, and a lot of love from Norway. Namaste. You want me to do that in Norwegian also?
Yes, please. That would be excellent.
Okay. Hei, alle sammen. Det en stor ære og velsignelse å kunne komme her sammen med dere og være en del av den store forandringen som på vei til å skje på jorden nå. Det å finne den indre freden og den kontakten med ens egen sjel og kunne spre det ut til verden og menneskene rundt oss en stor glede. Og jeg ser mer og mer mennesker som gjør dette, og jeg møter mer og mer av dem, og hvor glade og lykkelige og flotte de alle sammen som sprer dette budskapet til alle de møter. Vi står foran store forandringer på jorden nå, og det at spiritualitet og teknologi nå går hånd i hånd inn i den nye eraen på jorden, en så vakker gave. Den største velsignelsen vi får å få være levende på jorden på denne tiden. Det en stor ære. Det også mye det på så mange plan. Det jobbes på fred nå, på så mange forskjellige lag. Det noen som også jobber med Nasara-fondet, som for å skape et nytt banksystem og ny currency på jorden, til å skape mer fred og likevekt i hvem som har hva, og hvordan godene fordeles da. Så tusen takk alle sammen for all den jobben dere gjør, og at dere her på det tidspunktet og bidrar til fred på jorden. Det en kjempestor ære. Tusen hjertelig takk.
Okay, thank you, Julian. I thought maybe we would be able to hear from Doug McDonald, but I'm not sure if he's... I'm going to promote you to panelist, Doug, and try to put you on the spot here. when you feel like it. Okay. We have an attendee. There's Doug. He's put his hand up. Okay. Thank you, Doug. I provoked you into speaking, I think.
Can I speak? This is Rodrigo for Earth Council.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, as a member of the Earth Council, before we start a meeting, we elevate our energy of the soul. So I would like to invite every single one to do the same thing, to focus on yourself. Remember, we are immortal beings. We are souls. We are not bodies. And the most powerful thing that we have is a thought. So we are immortal and we have a power thought. So I invite you to see yourself, to close your eyes, to see yourself as full of energy, a blue light of a soul, and increase the energy of yourself. Elevate yourself above your home and see every single member of your home, their energy, the souls that increase that energy, increasing and become one. Then elevate yourself a little bit further and see the whole neighborhood. Then connect yourself to every single soul of that neighborhood. Become one. And then again, go a little higher and see the whole city. Every single soul of that city become one with you, full of energy. And then go further and further to see the whole country and become one with them. See the whole country that comes only one energy. Only at one energy goes again, go yourself further higher and see the whole continent. See every single soul in the country and the continent and become one with them. When you feel that energy is one, see the whole world, every single soul in the world, and see the blue light of every single soul that you become one with you. And then put a thought in your forehead, in your third eye. Put a thought of love and peace. Then send them to the whole world, that thought. See the leaders, a group of leaders, 120 or whatever numbers, the leaders that control the whole world. See them as a group. They all are souls. They're full of energy, but not aware. They're not aware of what they are. So then send them the love, send them peace, and become one, the whole world. Remember, the thought is the thing that with the thought we can change the whole world. Send love, peace, and become one with every single one. As a council, then, when we see that, we focus on ourselves. Every single one, we focus on ourselves, become all one. And that's when we send love. When we have that energy, we can discuss anything, and whatever we discuss goes straight to the whole world. So I'm going to say in my language, in Spanish, como miembros del Consejo de la Tierra, antes de tener una reunión, al principio de cada reunión nos unimos todos juntos y elevamos la energía de nuestras almas, sabiendo que nuestra alma, que somos nosotros, es inmortal. Y el más fuerte arma que tenemos como inmortales es el pensamiento. Como tal, elevamos esa energía para convertirnos en uno solo. Nos elevamos poco a poco para ver cada miembro de nuestra casa. Vemos la energía, el alma de cada uno de ellos y nos convertimos uno. Nos unimos a formar una sola alma, una sola energía. Nos elevamos un poco más y vemos la energía de nuestro vecindario, de nuestra ciudad. Y así nos vamos elevando poco a poco hasta ver cada alma que se encuentra en nuestro país, en nuestro continente. Cada uno de ellos nos volvemos uno. Me mezclo con ellos, nos mezclamos. Toda esa energía nos convertimos en uno hasta ver completamente todo el mundo completo. Cada una de las almas, una luz azul brillante. Y nos convertimos en toda esa alma, en toda esa energía, en uno solo. Después ponemos un pensamiento en nuestra frente, en nuestro tercer ojo. Ponemos un pensamiento de amor y paz. y lo mandamos a todo el mundo, ese pensamiento. Vemos también a los grupos, los líderes que controlan el mundo, 120 o más o menos. Los vemos que también, aunque no son conscientes de que son unas almas que son poderosas como almas, les enviamos ese pensamiento de amor, de paz, y para que ellos mismos lleven ese amor y esa paz en todo el mundo. Y podemos cambiar el rumbo de nuestro mundo. Gracias. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Rodrigo. Okay, we have 3 people that are lined up now. We have Marie and Kevin and Doug. So I'll let you guys duke it out as to who wants to speak first. All right, duke it out was the wrong term for a peace group. Let me invite someone. How about Marie? Would you like to go first?
Yes, I can go first.
Thank you.
I will thank Mr. Keshe and Carolina and the Keshe Foundation family for bringing up this Peace for Humanity blueprint. I fully believe that we will achieve peace with this, and I wish for peace for all souls on earth and beyond. We now have the technology and the knowledge about the soul and the tools to get this breakthrough in the world on Mother Earth. It's just fantastic times to be alive, and I am working on myself to find this strength in my soul. I'm very, very excited about the knowledge that has come the late weeks about the soul. I had a dream about this total freedom because I felt like I'm locked up on earth and I can't do what I want. But now I know that this freedom, this dream that I had, it's actually true. It's my soul who told me that there are this total freedom out there, and that we can be free as individuals, and that we can be peaceful and live together in unity and love each other. And I'm so grateful to be part of this. Yes, and I called out, I've been dreaming about this, so this is, for me, it shows that there are something that's it's probably my soul that are giving this to me, the opportunity to participate in this, and I'm very, very grateful for that. It's a big responsibility to bring peace to Earth, because what do we do when we get peace? We have to be ready for that. And I'm so ready for this peace blueprint, and I think and believe really that the time is here for peace on Earth now. Thank you. And in Norwegian. Jeg vil takke Mr. Keshe og Carolina og Keshe Foundation familien som har gitt oss denne muligheten til å endelig få fred på jord. Jeg er helt overbevist om at vi kommer til å få fred på jord med dette fredsblueprintet. Nå har vi fått masse teknologi, og vi har fått kunnskapen om vår egen sjel og hvor kraftig den er. Og vi har da verktøyene til å klare å skape fred på jord. Det er fantastiske tider å være i livet på. Og for min egen del så jobber jeg med å prøve å nå denne styrken i sjelen min da. Det høres kanskje pompøst ut, men det er faktisk et nytt syn på livet for meg da. Og det er veldig, veldig spennende. Jeg har drømt om full frihet, og nå vet jeg på det individuelle plan, og nå vet jeg at vi kommer til å få det. Fordi vi er fantastiske sjeler, alle mann. Jeg er veldig takknemlig for å kunne være del av dette, og jeg har bedt om det til ut i universet, og jeg har fått denne muligheten, og det er et slags svar på hva jeg har bedt om, og jeg er så klar. Det er et kjempestort ansvar å bringe fred på jord, for vi er jo ikke vant til å ha fred, så vi må faktisk tenke på hva gjør vi når vi får fred også. Og det er jo fantastisk å kunne tenke den tanken at vi må faktisk forberede oss på å få fred. Tusen takk.
Okay, thank you, Marie. Kevin needs a few more minutes before he's prepared. Perhaps Doug would like to say something now. How about it, Doug?
Hi, Rick.
Hi, Doug.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. I've, strangely enough, written a letter to my Prime Minister in Australia. And if it's okay, with fresh ink, can I read it?
I think that would be very appropriate.
It's just written in my left-handed handwriting. It says, "Dear Prime Minister Malcolm, as humanity has now evolved from and beyond primitive, brutal behaviour, it is time for leaders like yourself to take the initiative for peace. Australia is a wealthy island surrounded by oceans with poor neighbours. What need is there for huge expense on arms and armies? All military expenditure is a misuse of taxpayers' money. Australia has no need for aggression. We residents are peaceful by nature. Even our native animals are largely cute and cuddly, just minding their own daily business unless disturbed. It is time for change, from war to peace. This is fundamental and necessary now. If this is your wish, it is mine also." And that's it. Signed by Douglas Charles MacDonald, a resident of Australia, in Australian language.
And the world joins Australia.
Thank you. I only hope our illustrious Prime Minister can understand the message. He's a good man, let me say. He's a good man, and he just needs to be given a nudge. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much, Doug. Okay, we've got Carolyn Priller. So you had your hand up, and I think you'd like to speak, perhaps.
Yes, thank you, Rick. Thank you very much. This is Carol.
Whoa. I think you might have a bit of a bandwidth issue. Allow your system to stabilize a bit, perhaps. Yeah, we're not.
German speaking.
We're just now
Rick,
starting to be able to. No, we're
Rick,
having
can you hear me?
No, I'm having an issue. Now I can hear you, but it wasn't coming through at first. I think your system just had to stabilize a bit. So try it again.
Okay. Can you hear me now, Rick?
It's a little strained, but we'll try. Go ahead.
Okay, I changed my position. Is it better now?
It sounds a bit like a robot voice. Okay, that's a little better.
Where is it coming better through now?
We can hear the words, but it's definitely a bandwidth issue there. If you can get to a little better location by moving around and maybe watching the bars if you're on a cell phone or however it is there.
Okay, I'm wandering around now.
That's coming through louder.
Can you hear me better here?
I think we can hear that okay. Go ahead.
Louder? Or is it like a...
Yeah, it's louder.
Okay like this? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good. Thank you, Rick. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Keshe. I'd like to thank Caroline for this opportunity they have put on our shoulders. They have encouraged us to do so. They have started the peace process, which is very, very nice and which is very important. So thank you, Mr. Keshe. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you all. I'm Caroline from the German-speaking group. German is spoken in Germany, in Austria, in Switzerland, and in some other parts of the world. What have we done? We have focused on peace. What is peace? Peace is more than the absence of war. Peace starts within. It starts within our soul. It starts within our family. It starts within our group. And in the German-speaking group, it starts within our German-speaking group. Let's forget the past. The past is over. Let's concentrate on the present moment to build a better future. It is time now. It is time now to stand up for peace. It is time now to encourage for peace. It is time now to work for peace. So let's do it. Please, let's do it now. Let's do it now in this present moment. As the people from the German-speaking area like to work so precisely, they like to work precisely. So let's work precisely on peace. Let's work precisely on world peace. Let's do it together. And as part of the German-speaking group, I talk to you German-speaking sisters and brothers, let's do it together. Thank you. Now I'm going to translate into German. Als erstes möchte ich mich gerne bedanken bei Mr. Keshe, bei Caroline und bei dem gesamten Team, dass sie uns die Möglichkeit geben, uns für den Frieden zu engagieren. Dass sie uns die Möglichkeit geben, dass wir aufstehen können und am Frieden arbeiten können. Lasst uns die Vergangenheit vergessen. Lasst uns auf den jetzigen Moment konzentrieren, um eine bessere Zukunft zu bauen. Konzentrieren wir uns auf den Moment heute, auf diesen Moment jetzt und machen wir es zusammen. Als Deutschsprachige, lieben wir es, präzise zu arbeiten. Wir lieben es, zu arbeiten. So arbeiten wir doch gemeinsam präzise am Weltfrieden. Arbeiten wir daran jetzt. Arbeiten wir daran, wo die deutschsprachige Gruppe zu Hause ist. In Deutschland, in Österreich, in der Schweiz und in anderen Teilen der Welt. Lasst es uns jetzt gemeinsam tun. Und als deutschsprachiger Mensch möchte ich ganz besonders die deutschsprachigen Menschen ansprechen, dass wir dies gemeinsam tun. Dass wir jetzt gemeinsam für den Weltfrieden arbeiten. Frieden ist mehr als die Abwesenheit von Krieg. Frieden startet innen. Frieden startet innerhalb der Familie. Frieden startet innerhalb der Gruppe. Frieden startet für uns Deutschsprachige in der deutschsprachigen Gruppe. So, ich bitte euch, lasst uns gemeinsam am Frieden arbeiten. Lasst uns gemeinsam jetzt am Weltfrieden arbeiten. Wir erschaffen Frieden. Wir erschaffen Weltfrieden. Dankeschön. We create peace. We create world peace. We create world peace now. Dankeschön. Wir erschaffen Weltfrieden hier und jetzt gemeinsam. Thank you all. Thank you. Let's do it. Let's do it now. Lasst es uns jetzt tun. Dankeschön. Danke, danke. I love you all. Ich liebe euch alle. Dankeschön. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello?
We always get our minute of silence every hour, maybe.
Oh. Could you explain about that?
Yes, as we were talking about yesterday, that we can pause and be still, and we have a critical mass now that we can join in our intention through our souls.
Okay, that sounds good. I try to leave enough dead air time after people speak to make it slightly uncomfortable, like we are entering into that space. But we need to have a dedicated 1 minute, let's say. Now, since we missed the last couple of hours, we should have started on the hours best, but we could have one now for practice and do one on the hour. If everyone agrees that that's something that we'd like to do. 1 minute of peace per hour. That we focus on our own internal peace, and some people might like to meditate or whatever, but basically it's 1 minute of peace every hour.
Can I add to, while you're having the peace of mind? I I'll put in the chat, and not those who cannot read the chat. Can we have a list, or someone in the background can make a list of all the nations and territories which have a leader, with the name of the leader, that, or any communication line that is available to contact these leaders, that the others can choose to support and to invite in their language or other languages. And then, if it's possible, we could have a list of those we see as a priority to invite, that the whole thing starts. Don't forget that we've been through this channel once before. When we gave the knowledge in exchange for peace, the first ambassador was Ambassador of Sierra Leone, who received the first key. And then another one. And then it became a snowball. We have to do the same. We need, through us, to give the peace agreement, which will be released hopefully by today or tomorrow, to every ambassador, and to it, to every world leader. This time, we are not working on the councils, on council leaders, on mayors, and the rest. This is over. An ambassador is a representative of the president. This is what they are. This is who they are. When they speak on behalf of the president as the president speaks. In any language, in any way, you need to translate these documents into translated, and by Monday, Tuesday, by email, by hand, in any shape or form, deliver it to all the embassies of your nation or your language. If you're in Canada and you're French speaking, the French government, another French governments or French speaking governments are all an email away. Send them and invite them, and they will send this and write to it. You have sent it to the Foreign Office, you send it to the President. At the same time, as I put in the chat, we need those who want to stand as heads of states if and until the head of a state takes the position and sign the nation to peace. We've done this before. What this means, I am Iranian, I stand for the Iranian government, I have spoken many times in respect to my government and my nation. I sign myself as the representative of the Iranian nation for peace, and when my leader accepts the term, I step down. This way, we start a process. We don't wait for the process to start. We accept, we sign ourselves, we sign our nation to peace, and we let everyone know that we have signed ourselves to peace as one person, one leader per nation, not random anyone. This needs a clearance, true clear idea about the work of the soul of the man. Not just to be there to sign, but understanding I stand to accept all the responsibilities and the pains of taking my nation to prosperity and peace. We become the world alternative government, and we can finance it through our soul, through our work, and through our technology. It becomes the job of every leader to start developing, spreading freely all the knowledge available across the nation. Does not matter what. The Keshe Foundation will provide all the facilities possible to achieve this. We are working on it. We can deliver it. And if you're a Chinese, we encourage your leader to sign. They have till the 15th, a little few days here and there, to accept the condition. You have to understand, political situations Asking a leader to sign a nation to peace does not happen over days. I know I'm given a short time for this, but I know at the same time anything has to be legislated, and legislation takes months. If we do that, we've done before, they take their time. So we set up the alternative government for peace, and it's for them to bring it in. We make instruments of peace that facilitates that the government merge into us. I've worked many times. Those of you who know, if I want to travel officially, it takes 3 to 6 months for my visa to be issued that I can travel. You can imagine if they want to accept what you call a diplomatic responsibility to abolish a military force. It takes months. The opposition comes from every angle in every government, especially the military and the rest. So when I set the 2nd and 3rd of August as a date of signing the world peace, I know exactly what I stand for. I've been through the corridors of power with many powerful leaders, and I know they cannot drink water without a lot of paperwork. I know no one shall turn up if you're happy, 1 or 2, but gradually, as those who take up the position of the world leader, till it's done, I will open one door to you. Those who accept the seat will give every facility that your nation become prosperous. We set an alternative economical and social structure without army. We set a structure that the present banking system will collapse on its own. We do not touch, we will not attack. We just set no coin bits, no this, no other currency. We use the current currency in every nation to bring prosperity. We set every condition to guarantee the prosperity. It's very easy for us. It's extremely easy for us. When I start teaching, when we start opening the books from August on, you will understand that I've done everything and everything is ready in the background to go. You'll be amazed how much all of you have gathered in knowledge that you have not considered. Contact all the peace movement and bring them in. Invite them in. Go on the medias and invite everyone. As of Monday, the Keshe Foundation is setting up an alternative government. We do not need to appoint the head for any of the collective work. The heads have already taken their place. All the heads of the states will come and work through their Earth Council members. Collectively, they will direct. We have a position which we are seriously considering to fulfill, but that will be done in due course with one of the members of the council. But till that time, I have accepted the position as it fits the criterion as I am. I'm Iranian by birth, lived in Europe for long enough, and I've accepted to cover the responsibility of Earth Council till a new member has been accepted in. The pressure of being a member of the council is beyond imagination, because forever you will stand facing your own structure of the correctness of the soul and conduct. Therefore, what I ask you, please, I've heard and we hear many of you will come and explain how you feel. It has to be this way. We have to let the pressure of what has happened to us centuries and thousands of years to go out. It cannot be a dictatorship. That's it from the start, the process today. We have to let the nations and people speak in their language. And it's so beautiful. We hear it in broken English, but we feel it in the sincerity of the language as is spoken in their native language. We need a structure. The structure has to be that the members of those who want to be the leaders, you become a leader according to the strength of your soul, that you can carry the power. And none of us knows what it can carry till you become. And then go back to Earth Council. If they have a spoken language person in there as a member of the council, rely on them how to support you and go to the core team and the Earth Council to get support. What we've done and what we'll do will not change. If we do not get the agreement of Universal House of Justice, we will accept the internet as the place of signing the peace treaty by nations. We do not, and we cannot allow self-centeredness of certain groups become obstruction to development and what we have to achieve. This is sacrosanct for us. The whole process of humanity depends on what we do and how we handle this position. Every obstacle has become and will become a point of success. There is no obstacles. It's just that we have to find a way not to jump over it, but make it that it's not an obstacle. Find a solution for it. And that will become our job. Please, anyone from any group who wants to speak, would like to speak, go on the internet. Spend the time you're making Ganses and Magrav units, or this test or that test behind a computer. Search for peace organization, search for government offices and explain to wherever it ends up to presidential line. Don't go to your mayor office. Target has to be embassies and the office of presidents, and in mass. One of the biggest obstacles you will see will be Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel. Because accepting peace for him is the hardest thing. He lives through hatred. He lives through animosity. He lives to create a condition that it confirms the existence of the state of Israel. It's very easy. From Iranian Muslim blood, we accept you as a state. There is no animosity, not by guns, but by love and care. The same has to come from the state of Israel in respect to the Islamic world. Again, as other half, which I wear as blood, as a Jewish blood, we have to accept. We accept the Islamic world as brothers. There is no choice. When I was a child, we used to play, laugh, and in summertime, swim, and sleep in the same room with my Muslim cousins and Jewish cousins. We never knew the name of the religion. We knew the laughter and joy. None of my cousins ever accused the other cousin you're a Jew, and none of them accused the other one of being the other. This has to become the threat of human being. This has to become the strength of human being, that we can be so colorful and we can be so friend, and as I said, we can all be emotions, which means we are all brothers. Please, someone or a group, set up the list of the nations with their prime ministers, their addresses, and add to this list till Monday, Tuesday. And those who accept responsibility for it to accept it, add your name into it, and bring the other organizations in that country to get in touch with their work. You call it Greenpeace, you call it any other peace, bring them in and take their name off it. Say we work as one. Now we achieve peace. This will be the beauty of it. And what we need those who work and live with the ethos of the Keshe Foundation, and those who see their soul to become and can stand the harshness of changing thousands of years of misconduct to a correct conduct, to stand as the leaders of that nation. Our strength is our belief in equality of man, in oneness of man, oneness of mankind, oneness of the colors. Our soul is blind to color, so should be our eyes. The same is with religion, the same is with the race. Please set the scene, set the standard, translate the documents which is coming that the world leaders will sign their nation to, and till the world leaders get time to get through their parliaments and make legislation to make so many people be called soldiers without a gun, we accept the responsibility. When I set out the 2nd and the 3rd of August as the signing of world leaders to peace in Haifa, I knew exactly what this to entail. If we make a momentum, we might get a very few to sign. But as we sign the alternative government into position, financially support those who become members of it, we'll find a lot of people come to us because financially we are beneficial to them. But what I call the joy at the end of it is, once they come in to receive benefits from the foundation work and how we can support their families and their health, we set up sections, Keshe Foundation Health Ministries, Keshe Foundation Agriculture Ministries, and we put these to help direct the farmers, direct the people of the health. We create a parallel to World Health Organization where it's free for people to test, not to make people more ill, that we can control who is the ill and how we can make money out of it. We set up a parallel to World Bank and IMF, which means we provide funds to those who want to create jobs without interest. But we pay, not for them to take. All this will be done in the coming weeks and months. We have worked a lot. No one knows how much has been done because we kept the ball on one side while we were working on the others, and we have achieved a lot. We'll set the structure for world peace through the Keshe Foundation world government as one government, where what we call the world government will respond only to the Earth Council. Coordination, the work has to be done that way. And when I put 35 days for it to move, I knew the reason. Because I already knew we have the leaders amongst the Keshe Foundation supporters. It is easy, it shall be easy, and one thing is, we have to be correct this time and do it correctly this time. You're Italian, you think you can stand at head of the state of Italy for the Italian speaking with the boundaries of your nation. That is in fact for all the Italians across the world. You stand the position, because this time you don't wish the way the Universal Council wish. You issue instructions that will be followed. That's where the difference comes. Your governors to govern. You are not there to wish that to govern. It's a clear separation between the two. We facilitate every means of financial support to see one by one of the wishes of the governors, those who want to be the leaders in the country, to be met. We will not avoid any any kind of support, interaction with the government. When we certify a document as a material that it can be used, it'll be used. We'll appoint and will establish the World Police Force. When we issue a warrant, we'll enforce it. You will understand exactly what I'm talking about. Soon you will understand. Those who get involved in the activities to do what they've done up to now and they got away with it, we will deliver in a specific way to where they have to be. And this now is not my wish, it's my command. Within the Keshe Foundation and the structure we set up, we have the ability to deliver. When one institute delivers the certification that certain product is good, is acceptable worldwide as one standard. When one institute issues a material or a system is viable for use, which is the present government's institute, is applicable across the world. At the moment, the biggest problem the foundation has, and with the rest of the organizations around the world when I sit in different conferences, is that every nation is making it impossible for the others that they are better or they can provide and rob more of the same. One nation means one rule. CE standard, American standard, African standard, Chinese standard. When one it passes that it meets the standard, with the alteration to the position of application, becomes applicable. Does not matter what. And in that case, we stand, if the legal term comes into it, to show it's the same. It's not anymore upon us to prove in every nation, it's upon every nation to prove what we have is correct, as we receive documentation and certification from independently from one nation is applicable to the rest. These are the things which I'll bring out very rapidly. And we provide legal framework to do this. Making a change for humanity, it will not come easily with the prayers and giving up the soul. We have to feed the souls. We have to change the behavior of the fish to the behavior of the man, to the behavior of the dog. Because we are all citizens of this planet. It has to be understood. And I ask again, those of you who see your soul to be at the level to serve humanity as the head of your nations, till the point when you can hand over to what they like to call the present world leaders, you're quite welcome. We don't ask questions. We don't understand the point. The only thing is, we look at your application form. Who you are, what you are, that we don't get those who think they can come in to disrupt, they can do what they like. Everyone is capable to become, who serves this nation. Even Mr. Lorenz. Even those who in Austria or Germany have set against the foundation, you can stand if you can serve your nation. It has to be that way. We cannot separate and sanction different way, but this time everyone is equal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. I wonder maybe we can take that minute that we were supposed to take, a minute of silence here. And then in 43 minutes we could try to remember, people can remind me, on the hour we can take a minute off and have another minute of silence perhaps on the hour, if that's agreed to do. Okay, well, let's begin the minute of peace now for this first try. Okay, let's carry on with our adventure here. I think we're going to take a break in about, oh, I see it's only 15 minutes until the, I think we're going to take a break at the 3-hour mark. Is that correct? Is that what we finally decided? Take that as a yes. Okay, so maybe someone else would like to speak at this point.
Hello, I salute all of you. My name is Thomas Kunz. I'm from Switzerland, and I'm working for setting up the Keshe Foundation here in Switzerland, and I started to provide workshops. And I have written a letter to our state president. I have also an English translation of this. I have a German and an English version. And yeah, I would like to read it to all of you with the wish that if there is any error in it, I wish the error to be corrected. Okay, here it goes. Shall I share the screen so you can see it? Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. That's a good idea. Sure.
Okay, let's see if I can find the right window. Can you see this?
Yes, yes, that looks readable.
All right, thank you. All right, this is an open letter. I will share this letter with other peace movements I can find. So, invitation to the World Peace Conference on 2nd and 3rd of August 2017. Dear Ms. President, the time has now come to free mankind from the shackles of war. Maybe you already know that the Keshe Foundation is working to achieve this. In the name of all women and men who wish for peace, I invite you to attend the World Peace Conference on 2nd and 3rd of August in Haifa to sign the World Peace Treaty. The state president of Ghana has already signed the treaty, and he enjoys his pioneering role. With the signature on the World Peace Treaty, Switzerland will be finished the production of weapons and other military devices. This also includes the manufacturing of guns, cannons, ammunition, bombs, mines, mortars, as well as chemical and biological warfare agents, and all devices to manipulate the weather, DNA, environment, and our consciousness. Furthermore, the offensive software products are tools of aggression too, which are no longer desired. Our Secret Service will no longer be permitted to influence and destroy infrastructure on Swiss and foreign territory. It is very important to say to you that we have been educated very well by Mehran Tavakoli Keshe to bring the deep wish for peace into reality. With the knowledge about how life on this beautiful planet works, we also have the means to enforce the peace. This knowledge has two parts. One is the plasma technology and the other is our unconditional love. I am aware that with the signature on the World Peace Treaty, some people will lose their jobs temporarily. That is not a problem, but a welcome opportunity to introduce the plasma technology to our population and to restructure the weapons factories for the good of all of us. This plasma technology was already presented to parts of your administration for verification purpose. You have been given Magrath plasma generators. In this plasma technology is the key to solve a lot of problems. Clean energy, non-invasive medicine to heal cancer, agriculture without pesticides, herbicides and fungicides, anti-gravitation are only the beginning. You recognize the potential is very huge, and it is really better to use this potential and our creative powers for the good of all mankind, and not to create weapons, offensive or defensive technologies for the rescue of some shareholder values or portfolios. This is reflecting the most important part of the plasma technology, applied ethics. Switzerland has proven in the past that we can create a strong power for achieving peace. Many centuries we were known as very good mercenaries. Nowadays we are known as innovative precision mechanics and developers and manufacturers of advanced products. We have learned to overcome cultural differences and to arbitrate in a lot of conflicts. The conflict between the USA and Iran has to be mentioned especially. In this conflict there is a lot more to understand than what is written in the newspapers. Most of the time the Iranian atomic development is displayed as a threat to Western societies. But that is only the official part. As a matter of fact, a lot of official and secret structures try to hold down the plasma technology, which has been developed by Mehran Tavakoli Keshe. These are structures who profit from war and conflicts of all sorts. As soon as the plasma technology is known by the population, there will be no more profit in the oil business, questionable medicine and weapon technologies, because the people will find their inner peace and create all needed resources by themselves. With the application of the plasma technology, there comes a change in our consciousness. Up to date, people have been told that we are just a randomly evolved bundle of atoms. Thanks to the plasma technology, we can perceive and explore a lot more about the nature of life. In this process, many people have found their mental and spiritual powers, and I'm one of them. With all the love available to me, I raise your soul to perceive the absolute need for an everlasting peace. A better opportunity will not come for a very long time. Therefore, I ask you to be present in Haifa, to ban war from this planet together with other state presidents. We have suffered enough. If you have to use emergency law to sign this treaty, I'm happy to point out that we really have an emergency. People kill each other with weapons produced in Switzerland, and that we destroy our only base of life because of a lack of clean technologies. We are all connected beyond state borders. How long do we want to shoot in our own feet? How long do we want to manufacture weapons and send the Red Cross and the Red Half Moon to ease our bad conscience? How long do we want to increase our guilt? My wish is that we as a Swiss population use our free will to bring the necessary corrections to our society. The signature on the World Peace Treaty is only the first step. Please be ensured that peace is possible this way. Until that peace conference, the Keshe Foundation concentrates all resources for the needed steps to reach world peace. We are many, and we carry the power of love and the knowledge of the plasma in our hearts. And we know how to apply this power responsibly for the good of all life. We are already sharing this knowledge publicly, and to anyone who is interested, and we will continue to do that. But that knowledge comes with the condition, world peace, because a lot of people around the planet have already taken the presence of plasma science. The peace is inevitable. Please do not let yourself be hindered by some heuristic pernictiness. If your law does not permit to bring peace, it is not worthy for our peaceful society, and we have to ask ourselves how the status of our neutrality is. I thank you for your attention, and I say goodbye for now in the name of all who wish for peace. Thomas Kuntz. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
I think this is absolutely perfect. Maybe we need to add and take some from it. And in so many ways, we should be able to do something with this. It could be a framework. If the Earth Council and the Universal Council are member of the core team, have a look at it. It's an option because it puts a lot of things in reality with us. It puts a lot of things in exactly where it should be. And is where we need to explain, and I think this explains a lot. This explains totally what we are looking for. Maybe if the councils pick this up and in the discussion today or tomorrow, and we'll see if any others have the other bits which we can add to it as one race to submit to the world leaders, at least we start the beginning. And in so many ways, maybe changing the words back to front, you sign, I, as a board leader, accept this letter to be the new standard for the Swiss nation. As Caroline said, we have to forget the past. And we have to forget because this time we all are criminals in creating such a condition for humanity. And this time we all have to forgive each other. And it cannot be any exception.
Okay. Is it okay that I will include this needs to forgive each other and make it in
whatever
a way?
You like? Give it to the council. Let the council decide on the wording.
All right. Okay. So I'll add some things and try to make it in a way that it is more generic, so it can be applied easier to other nations.
Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to give. Thank you for showing me all. Have learned so much from you, Mr. Keshe, over the last weeks alone, and I thank you very much for you being here on this beautiful planet. Thank you to all of you.
It's Caroline. Good afternoon. I thank you so much for your letter that you just presented to all of us. I think we can add maybe a little part to it, that we have put our trust in the people which we have elected to be in the positions to be responsible of the running of the country or the nation. I think it's also time to request for them to take the responsibility of being a peaceful nation through our votes. We never even voted for war in the first place. And a lot of people are not aware of this, that the population, it doesn't matter if it's a country, if it's the whole planet, I don't think that there is a single person or a single man on this planet that has put his vote through to his government to go into war. I think it is correct to ask them to consider the value of what we have put as a trust in whoever is and has taken this responsibility to watch over us, that our votes were counting for peace, not to deplete our countries from the resources which we were and we have and we need for our own people. And the more that we can generate, the more we can share, but not as a burden to put on other nations because they put a hand out because they were in need. I think also these kind of frameworks will have to be reconsidered, that the day we need support, that they will be there as friends, as much as we can be there for the others in friendship and caring. So I think we have to mark our votes that every single human being who ever put a vote through to create a government, to create a community, to create whatever they needed, to have some guidelines, that the vote was meant in peace, not to deplete, not to disturb, not to harm. And I wish that I will repost this article which was published in Ghana, which I bumped in by accident, that the whole government is committing itself to peace before they can go into government. And when I brought it on the table to Benjamin, I said, but this is very extraordinary. He said, no, this is very normal. We always do. I said, Benjamin, you haven't stood still to the importance what your government has put down. This is a commitment to peace. I said, now you must have realized why we arrived in your country, because you're the first country which does it out of an obligation towards each other, which is so beautiful. And it gets published, who signs, when they sign, where they sign, and it has to be done before the elections. I said, you don't know how beautiful this message is to me, and now I understand why I came to Ghana. I said, your country is an example for the whole world to work from the base of peace. I thank you, Ghana, for being the first example. Thank you very much. We can definitely use it in all the other countries as an example, because the layout is not so difficult, and I'm very 100% sure that Benjamin can get us the draft what they are signing for as a government, and I think this will be a very easy step to bring to our own people before we put them up, that they have to sign a peace agreement, because this is what people want, not what they try to change. They received our support, they receive our vote, they receive our love, they receive our care, but to take care of all of us, not to create chaos that we don't know anymore how to solve and sort things out. A lot of people are on so many burdens, and they never vote for this. I wish Ghana, I wish Benjamin, please bring us the example of your country, your nation. In all respect, I bow for you. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Caroline. I think we're going to take a break now. The idea, excuse me, the idea is to take an hour break for the next hour, and then resume with another 3-hour session in the afternoon. That would be from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock CET time. So we will.
Is it possible
Sorry, Rick. Is it possible to just put a note on the screen back in what time, that if anybody comes in, they know the session is for lunch? Instead of shutting down and reopening, we just put on the screen.
Then we have a 6 or 7 hour video instead of a 3 hour video.
Okay, no problem.
But what we could do is we could shut down and then restart with a screen saying we'll be back in at a certain time, say.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. Yes.
And that would keep
Back
our...
at 2 o'clock Central European time. We need the lunch break. We need the break because this is going to be a long process.
Right. Okay, Flint, maybe you could come up with a little screenshot for that that'll say we'll be back in at 2 o'clock CET time.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. Thank you very much. Can I ask one thing? Our listeners in other languages, please translate as much as you can, and if you can run parallel in your nations the same thing, it would be perfectly nice to be having it. Thank you very much. We'll see you at 2 o'clock. Thanks.
Okay, great. Okay, that'll end the first session, the morning session for day 1 of the Blueprint for Peace for Humanity for Friday, June 30th, 2017. And we'll end the live stream and then we'll end the Zoom recording.